Breaking news tonight, the man name-checked in the whistleblower complaint more than anyone else, Rudy Giuliani, has just been hit with a subpoena. Donald Trump's personal lawyer here is facing severe pressure from congressional Democrats. They want all of his documents regarding the Ukraine by October 15th. Now, as of this weekend, Giuliani was going back and forth over whether he would cooperate with exactly this kind of request. As promised, I want to turn directly to two very special experts. Maya Wiley was counsel to the mayor of New York and a civil prosecutor at SDNY, an office Rudy Giuliani used to run, and another Giuliani expert, former New York City public advocate Mark Green. He sued the mayor and also ran to succeed Giuliani in a bid for the mayor of New York City all the way back, you see right there, in 2001. Good evening to both of you.
All right.
Quite the experts for Rudy Giuliani. What does it mean that the House is now subpoenaing him and saying if he doesn't comply, that's evidence for impeachment?
Well, since we know there is a smoking gun document, just the call summary itself of the transcript with Ukraine is its own smoking gun. But also there's Giuliani's public statements, which essentially was, yes, I was going to Ukraine to do exactly what the call notes say I was going to do. So for him not to come forward to Congress, of course Congress needs to see his documents. There's no surprise about them asking for the documents in a subpoena. But look, what we know is this is an administration and its allies who have worked very hard to stop the clock, to slow things down, and to not cooperate and obstruct Congress. So their expectation has to be that he will, as he has said publicly, flip-flop and decide whether or not he's going to. I think he's in trouble. I think he knows it, and I think he's going to do everything in his power to slow walk this at best and delay. And I think the Democrats are going to have to be prepared to just plow forward very aggressively.
You know this man. You've tangled with him. Sometimes he wins big. Sometimes he loses big. Is this the same man that you tangled with years ago? What do you make of the way that he seems right now to be losing and complicating life for his supposed client?
Few of us change at his age, our age. He's the same guy. His modus operandi then and now is either you love him or he hates you. So he and Donald Trump get along very well. Listen, then he's a smart Giuliani. I'm sorry, he's a smart Trump. But even then, he was a kind of cocky dissembler, pushing the edge of the envelope. And now he's flown too close to the sun with wings of wax. And he's going to have to testify. If he's deposed, he'll have to do it probably privately. Adam Schiff is a lot of things, but he's not dumb. And to have this guy who's gone from the mayor of America to the Joker, the way he's on television, he's no Ari Berman. He does this, and I have no idea what's going on. The House doesn't want that. They don't want a reprise of Corey Lewandowski. So he'll be questioned privately.
Do you think Giuliani knows what he's doing, or do you think he has sort of lost the thread of what this is about?
He's a moth drawn to fame. And so he loves being in the, he's back, he's on television, but he still has a brain. And he knows it's one thing to BS Chris Cuomo on CNN and when he said the opposite thing maybe 3 seconds apart, which is a record even for a Trump person. But under oath, he's going to have to hire a real lawyer this time. He's going to have to lawyer up. And I don't mean a TV lawyer like him, but someone who will tell him exactly his liabilities to the extent that he's so grandiose that he doesn't understand it. But I think he does.
Yeah, and to Mark's point, Maya, Rudy has obviously acted in a way that has made himself more central, more relevant. There was wide reporting he actually wanted to be Secretary of State. Now he's doing the off-the-book stuff, whether it's legal or not, whether it's impeachable or not, others will decide. Here he was yesterday talking about this very news that hit him tonight. What do you do if you get subpoenaed? Take a look.
Are you going to cooperate with the House Intelligence Committee?
That is a question that has a lot of implications to it. I wouldn't cooperate with Adam Schiff. I think Adam Schiff should be removed.
So that's your answer. You're not going to cooperate.
I didn't say that. I said I will consider it.
You said you wouldn't do it.
You said
you will not cooperate with Adam Schiff.
I said I will consider it.
To get into the substance of this, if they've already admitted They wanted a foreign government to help Donald Trump's re-election, to go after rivals. And Rudy has admitted and said, hey, I went out and did it. What exactly is the substantive or messaging benefit to then running and hiding at this juncture?
Delay, obfuscation, hiding the facts. I mean, remember, everything we've seen in the press up to now has fundamentally been, let's say that the whistleblower is not credible. Let's say that they changed the form that the whistleblower. Let's say, and fill in the blank. I mean, it's everything but the facts that we know that are already out in public and that they themselves have admitted. So all that leaves him is bluster. And I think to Mark's point, all he can do is try to be hard in public as if he's outraged, but he just can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide.
You can run, but you can't hide. And Mark, you can't hide from the comedians either. Rudy being back in the spotlight means at the SNL debut, which a lot of Americans watch, and people who don't follow the news, they get their little bit of a mood from this. This was how it went down on SNL for Rudy.
Nobody's going to find out about our illegal side dealings with the Ukraine.
Good.
Or how we tried to cover up those side dealings.
Great.
Or how we plan to cover up the cover-up.
Rudy, where are you right now?
I'm on CNN right now. Let me put you on speaker.
Rudy, get out of there, and whatever you do, stay off the phone.
I know things look bad right now, but I got our top guy on this.
Good. Well, let's get him on the phone, too.
Hello?
Damn it, not Rudy.
Rudy may have been able to bluff with the incumbent president and Robert Mueller. And the Trump people prevailed. He never testified, so he could say, oh, there's nothing. Giuliani is a civilian. He's not Donald Trump in the White House. And the House impeachment process is not Robert Mueller, who was predestined not to indict because of the DOJ rule. And also, the Trump people said, oh, you can't indict us. Junior said, gee, I didn't really understand campaign finance law. Well, Giuliani does. And already, two Republican prosecutors at the DOJ with Giuliani, Bruce Fein and Jeff Harris, who was his chief of staff, have said he's vulnerable to prosecution because he clearly tried to get something of value. Whether it's an exchange or not doesn't really much matter because they saw something of value from a foreign national, which is per se illegal.
And that goes to why the smarter lawyers, which include now Attorney General Bill Barr, as we've been reporting tonight, seem to be looking for more distance, which ultimately raises the question of whether they'll spend less time in green rooms and more time in law office prepping depositions. Mark Green, thank you so much. Maya, stay with me. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.